Hi. So this is real quick because he's not exactly running. Maxwell, the humanoid, got a brain transplant over the last few weeks, new PC and so on. His basic setup, I'm really keen on human-robot interaction stuff. So hence the humanoid head and jaw and eyeballs. He has a webcam in his forehead and a prominent speaker in a metal bucket in his chest. So I brought him to Maker Faire running just a very simple face tracking program. So he would do, thank you. So he'd do face tracking with the webcam in his forehead, and whenever he'd see somebody, he'd light up his eyes and open his mouth. And for a couple of reasons, that program doesn't run on new PC. I decided to jumpstart and go to Ross, and I have the individual pieces mostly running, but I didn't get a cohesive program running in time for today. But anyway, so he's got a very big battery in his base down there, big black box. PC in the center, which is a fairly speedy processor, and a GPU, a graphics processor, which lets me accelerate the OpenCV face detection. Before I managed to break Linux and reinstall, I was getting about a 5 times speed up with this PC over the PC I was running at Maker Faire, which is like Intel Atom kind of speed level. Yeah, so he's got a whole bunch of electronic bits, making a big mess on the Mac here. This is new servo controller to replace old servo controller, which is not quite working yet, and this is new stereo amplifier, which is working, and so on. And so he will get cleaned up eventually, but he's work in progress. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Who's next? You ready to go, Carlos? Chris, do you need any setup time?
I'm going to help him.
Okay, fine.
Hi everybody, my name is Carlos Uranga, and I was also at Maker Faire, and won a blue ribbon for our latest some company is called Open Fuel Cell, and we're doing robotics and fuel cells to try to, this is actually the same technology that's in the cars, the PEM fuel cell, and you can see it's actually, this is what actually inspired it all. So you can see that you can grab a real product and then eventually just convince the manufacturer to open source it and make it into a robotics hacker kit. Unfortunately, I'm breaking the cardinal rule of demos and not have a robot running right now, although we have a partner that's going to show in a second, Littlebot, that we're hydrogen powered. And so if you go to openfuelcell.com. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is the first version. It's an Arduino-based fuel cell control shield. So what we did is modularize this little guy so you can actually add as many fuel cells as you want. It's kind of like adding an extra cylinder in your car engine, depending on how big your robot is, right? And then also it's based on solid state hydrogen storage, so that gives you about 16 AA's worth of energy.
Show the cell on that on the video.
Okay, good idea. So.
That screen there is what you're trying to get.
There we go.
Because they can see it right back there.
So much technology here.
Yeah.
I should have been aware. All right, so this is a micro hydrogen fuel cell that's about 1.5 watts to 2 watts. You can overclock it, underclock it, kind of like a CPU. And you do get different varying efficiencies. Pumps out essentially, like I said, it actually, P equals IV, you can actually vary voltage and current rather nicely to do any kind of varying power levels.
So you like current limiting with it?
Yeah, so that's basically what this little guy does. This guy, so the way a fuel cell works is it actually uses hydrogen and relatively low pressure. So the kit actually includes, I need an extra hand here, this little pressure regulator right there, which makes it go from 400 psi to 7 psi, and then now you actually can hack with it. You can use your fingertips and just use this regular silicone tubing, and then you can daisy chain as many fuel cells as you want, and then also as much little hydrogen tanks. So let me show you the tank real quick.
How many watts?
Yeah, so this is just the beginning. So but this is a 1.5 to 2 watt each fuel cell, and then for Chris's robot that you'll see in a second, we had to use 2 of these guys, 3 to 5 watts, you know, depending if you underclock it, overclock it. We actually got almost 5 watts out of it, but it's really 3 to 4 watts for the 2 fuel cell system, just hooked up in series, just like a battery, essentially. But this is a little hydrogen storage tank that's a nickel metal hydride alloy. 400 psi, it can hold about 1 gram of hydrogen, and yeah, I mean, lots of robot hacking at a small scale. But if you can see, our partners actually go all the way to 6 kilowatts in increments of 50 to 100 watts. You know, for the amount of technology that you just saw there, it's a pretty good price. We're trying to basically slam the price down here to just get this thing out in the mainstream and get people hacking with it, and to show that there's an alternative out there other than, you know, lipos and batteries and all that stuff. And actually, you know, it's not an either-or thing. The ultimate is actually a lipo, fuel cell, and supercap. So that brings to the next kit. This is version 1 of the kit. Version 2 of the kit, which unfortunately I don't have here with me, but you can just imagine that this fuel cell, it's just a fully integrated version of this. So where you actually mount the fuel cells on each side of the electronics, the power electronics in the middle, and it contains an ultra cap, a 10 farad capacitor, for instance. That works really well with Chris's robot because it's a balancing robot. It essentially hovers right around that perfect marriage of fuel cells and ultra cap, where you have a sudden burst of, let's say, 6 watts. Well, the ultra cap takes over, and then when it's sitting and balancing, it's actually recharging the ultra cap. So this is the same thing you're going to see in your cars, right? So you're going to see, you know, regenerative braking, you know, shoving 1,000 amps into your ultra cap bank, and then slowly trickle charging your battery as well. So the battery, you can imagine, is actually taking you over that hill. That's 2 or 3 or 7 mile hill. So that's why you can use a lot less of a fuel cell. And you can see all 3 in conjunction is really the ultimate. So just, you know, it's basically lets you start hacking with this technology, and we're just asking all Arduino enthusiasts to just start hacking. So, you know, just come check out Open Fuel Cell. Thanks a lot, guys.
How long does the tank of hydrogen last? Obviously, you're running a couple of watts.
Right, so the 2 different alloys. It's 2 different alloys. This one's the older one, but there's another one delineated by color white. You'll see it on my website. That's about 4 amp hours worth of energy with 1 fill, and they're refillable.
How do you refill it?
Actually, an option, there's several options. You can do compressed hydrogen or use a high pressure electrolysis kit, which is also on the website. It looks like a little coffee maker. In 2 hours, you have about 16 WAs worth of energy.
How much do they cost?
That is the key. So right now, we're pre-Kickstarter on the version 2. It's called the Hydwino. You'll see that hopefully coming out in the next month here this summer. Yeah, I know, I had to go there, guys. I don't care if it sounds bad. But, so yeah, so the Hydwino, which is 2 fuel cells, is hovering right around 300 pre-purchase beta. And then we're hoping that we can get production up in the thousands, where we can get it to $199 for the full 3 watt kit. Expensive once you start looking at the technology and how good the STEM education is coming from this thing. I think it's a pretty high value. All right. And then the recharger is about $399 for the good, you know, high pressure one. Then there's a lower one that's about $250 for the recharger. Thanks, guys.
Ready, Chris?
I just have one question. I just want to get your website. Is it that openfuelcell.com?
That's the one.
Okay.
Or hydwino.com.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the tag team on this is Chris, who's been working on this for quite a while. I've been seeing him in Dojo.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll let you take over.
Yeah, okay. Hi, my name is Chris Hakim. I have this little robot I've been working on since this summer. It's Arduino compatible. Basically, the main board of the robot is Arduino Uno plus motor drivers, accelerometer, and proximity sensor. So it does a balancing robot, and then you can add shields to it as you like. And it has also this little face that makes the expressions depending on how the robot feels. Are you ready to pair it with
Go ahead and connect
So let me power it up and show it off now. So I can pair it now.
Now connected. I'm hitting the, okay, so
You can
spin
do-
clockwise.
You can do that. See what happens. Stay. See. There
Enter. Here we go.
So it says changing directions. So you can do Z.
Okay, we'll do Z, which is no spin.
No spin.
There we go.
Oh. The balancing, I've been working on the balancing for several months, and somebody even helped me.
Spin
There's
counterclockwise.
a lot of little tweaks and efforts.
It's technically clockwise, but
Do S.
the other way.
S. S.
Clockwise again.
Do N.
Awesome. And then N.
It also changes faces sometimes.
That's the naughty face, yes. Where's the happy face? H. Send. That's mine. Cool.
So there's always still a need for a lot of tweaking of the balancing, and it's very slowly coming together. That's it.
You need to mention that your Kickstarter has started.
It's it's about 10 days into a Kickstarter program. It's doing pretty well so far.
What is the weight per watt of each one?
The weight of
No, fuel cell.
Oh, I'm sorry. So that's why I wanted to separate it a little bit. We can talk offline if you like. This is all a little bot right now.
yeah.
Thank you, though. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Very impressive technology. So now we're going to let Fritz take over and show us what he's got. Are you fired up?
So I've been working with Chris and Dan on the robot that has been registered for the Dark Robotics Challenge. That is a walking robot. And we thought that it would be cool if we could get some ROS tools to help us with visualization,
Could you talk a little louder,
all
please?
that stuff.
Yeah,
I
we
can
can't
try.
hear.
So what I did was, so this is a ROS tool that can visualize all kinds of robotic stuff. So I made a model of the current version, which is like 7th or 8th rebuild of the bottom portion of the robot. So it knows where all the parts are, and I made a little addition to that which allows to move the leg, and I wanted to try if it actually works. Do you guys have the robot today?
No, we didn't bring it.
Okay,
Next
so
month,
that's why I have a
next month we'll have it.
smaller version of the leg. Basically, it has these 3 joints, and they're connected to a Raspberry Pi, which is each which using ROS serial and Wi-Fi is talking to this laptop, which actually runs all the ROS stuff. And I'll see if this works today. Yesterday it worked, so there is a good chance. Okay, does it move?
Oh, perfect.
Okay, cool. So it works.
That's cool.
And it should work exactly the same way with a real robot. We just attach those servos and it should work.
Rumor has it though, we've switched to a BeagleBow Black, but I see you still have a Raspberry Pi there.
Yeah. But the advantage of ROS is that its infrastructure, communication infrastructure can handle anything. If we can get to talk to BeagleBow, it will be just fine. Okay? Thanks.
Quick question. Is the ROS running on your laptop and you're just sending commands to the Mini Watson, or is ROS running on the Pi?
The full ROS stuff is not installed on this Pi. There is only one binary executable that is running on the Pi, and it connects to another binary that runs here that represents it in this whole ROS thing.
Okay, thank you very much. For those of you who are new, ROS stands for Robot Operating System, so some of you may not have known that. Okay, I think there was a couple more robot hands. So who else has a robot? Did I miscount? Brian, do you have anything tonight? No. And, okay, it looks like we're done with Robot Show and Tell. So I'd like to thank everybody for showing off their robots tonight. Thank you.